The content you're about to enjoy comes from the archives of The Best You. We're devoted to the very best in personal development. With a magazine and resources dedicated to inspiring and changing people's lives. At The Best You, we work with the world's leading writers and trainers on the evolution of the self, and people whose journeys have been affected by their work and words. For more information, go to www.thebestyou.co.
Dr. Faye, how are you? Wave if you can hear us. Okay, are you ready to come in? We want to interview you. All right. What do you say, Crystal? You want to bring her in?
Let's go for it.
All right, I'm going to get her jumped in real quick. How are you, doctor?
I am super fabulous. How about yourself?
You looking super fab. You looking fab.
Doing good. Doing absolutely wonderful.
Do you know Crystal? Have you guys met before?
No, we haven't.
We haven't.
The world are virtual. You guys know each other.
Nice to meet you. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Crystal, do you have her bio right there all printed out nice and pretty? I have it digitally. I have it memorized, but I just wanted to test you.
You're right, you do. Yeah, I have her bio. So where are you calling from? Where are you?
I am in Arkansas. Yes. I'm a reload back to Arkansas. I grew up here and traveled the world and came back for family. So
was that former President Clinton's home?
Yes. There's no place like home. There's hope. Yeah. He was born in Hope, Arkansas.
What are you discussing today? What are you sharing with our viewers?
Creation. Yeah, a very hot topic, wealth creation. And I heard the end of your conversation there a moment ago when I was in the green room. And that's very exciting. Yeah.
Well, if you want to offer any services after your talk to people that stick around, you may hear her drop some stuff for you as well that we can add to the list of free services or at least introductory level consultations. You never know.
Absolutely.
Stick around and watch.
Awesome. Yeah.
I just wanted to mention you're a confidence coach. That was one of the things that I had talked about on the main stage, that a lot of the youth and young adults that have been on my stages, self-confidence is huge. Yeah. So huge with our youth and young adults, but adults as well. So that's one of the things that you do is confidence coaching.
Absolutely. It's particularly in this marketplace, in our climate, the thing that we've been experiencing around the world that we don't even want to talk about, but everybody knows that it's there. It has really affected people greatly, and to depression, anxiety, worry, fear about the present and the future, and because of all of the news and the media and all of that. So we have a platform that we help people to rebuild their confidence, reignite their fire. Many that had the fire, had a dream, had a vision, and feel as though that it has waned over the past few months. We want to help them to get back into motion and be able to live that dream, because it's here. It really is.
So you have 3 L's on your bio, and then we can go ahead and have you give your talk. But I'm into words, so I always kind of like pick out things. So Limitless Life Relaunch.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes, absolutely. Limitless. We talk about Limitless Life Relaunch because I want people to understand that we were created to have limitlessness. And because of all of the systems that have been put in place around us, whether it's education, whether it's our parents, or whatever it is, it has caused us to think that we can only go so far and we can only be this or be that, when we are created in the image of God, which means, wow, God, the creator, created me. And the very fact that I'm an entrepreneur means that I'm a co-creator with God. And so I can really do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I want that in our young people, and I also want it in our seniors as well. Because our seniors are, when I have a 91-year-old dad, soon to be 91-year-old dad, and I'm his caretaker. And what I've noticed is that, he gets up every day, he does his exercise. And I thought, you know what? You don't stop living till you stop living. Right. And as long as you're living, you have something to give. You got to live, you got to give, and you got to stay in motion, because when you do that, life will begin to take on a shape and a mold of its own, because energy is not created or destroyed. It simply changes form. And energy is just another word for spirit. And so what I teach people is that you are limitless. So don't count yourself out. Don't count yourself out. Don't think because you were born here or you're Black or you're this or you're that. There are no limitations, but that which you think, that's what you think about limits you. So as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. That's why Philippians 4:8 from the Apostle Paul says, think on things that are good, that are lovely, that are just, that are pure, that are of a good report. And that if there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on those things. So if not elevating you, then it's taken away from you.
Right.
So whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever the mind can conceive and whatever you can believe, that's what you will receive. So we have to have a shift in consciousness. Yeah. And we weren't taught these things in school. All the school, I have enough credentials I could paper a wall. But none of those credentials got me to this revelation. None of those credentials got me to the place where I understood that I'm a co-creator. I had to read the book. The big book, and to understand who I really am. And out of that, I began to see through my coaches and mentors that were placed in my life, that I began to see that from the very beginning, I was intended to be great. With intention that God created the heavens and the earth. With intention. It wasn't just an accident. It wasn't, let me see how this goes. No, it was with intention.
Yeah, I got to interject because I want you to have the stage. I want you to go off. I don't want to interrupt you, which I do. You really need this stage. This is going to be on fire, people. If you're watching this, this is going to be, you think I bring energy. You think Crystal brings energy. Come on, doctor. She's going to bring it for the next 45 minutes. I'm excited. So, Crystal,
we're just going to remove ourselves because you're already on fire. It's not going to be on fire. It's already on fire. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, here is Dr. Faye.
Wow. Listen, they could have stayed with me. I was having so much fun with them. What a great opportunity for us to be able to share this good news with you. And it is good news. It is good news. When you awaken to who you really are, it evolutionized your thinking. It evolutionized the way you live and breathe and go about life. So welcome to this Best You EXPO Miami, an exciting time with some exciting people who are bringing such great knowledge and not just information, but transformation, because that's what we want, right? That is truly what we want. You know what transformation is? Transformation is when the caterpillar becomes the butterfly. There's a metamorphosis. There is a change in the DNA. The thing that it once was, it no longer is, not even identified as that thing again. That's what's happening on the inside of you. That's why you've tuned in, because you are the person. You're the one who is saying, I want this complete transformation. How many coaching programs have you been to? How many videos have you watched? Are you a tuber or Facebook or whatever it is that you tuned into? You're seeking answers. You're seeking elevation. You're seeking a way that you can improve your life, to make your life better, to create a legacy, to make a mark in the world that can never be erased. You have, not only do you have potential, you have possibility. You see, potential means I see the good in you and I see that there's some substance and I see that there's something great that you can do. But possibility means that, hey, you're in motion to make that potential become a reality. And I see the good in you. I see the bigness in you, that you are about to shift and to change, that you are that caterpillar becoming the butterfly. You have gone through so much processing that now you're ready to show up on stage and show up big in life on all levels,
It is said that we live in a world our questions create. And it's true. Those that have succeeded in life, those that stand out, those that have made a difference, those that are inventing, those that are exploring, pushing the boundaries of reality, are based on those that have asked themselves empowering questions. In my new book, The Question, Find Your True Purpose, I help you find your true purpose, find your legacy. For more information, go to www.thequestion.co. If you're interested in working with me, contributing, speaking at any of our many events, partnering, or licensing The Best You, for more information, go to www.thebestyou.co.
Limited life relaunch is so important to wealth creation. And limitlessness is, to me, that's such a power word. It's such a dopamine drop because it tells me that there are no caps on my life, that I am the person that has just come out of the box. I have become out of the box so much that sometimes I think I'm unglued. But I tell you, it is such a wonderful place to be when you know the entire world is your platform and you can be whatever it is you desire to be. And you have the potential and the possibilities now available for you in this climate, as crazy as it seems on the outside. Something powerful is happening on the inside. You feel it, you know it. You've not been able to articulate it, and maybe you kept it on the hush because you didn't want your friends or your family to think that you were really going that deep into that business or deep into that thing that has been on the inside of you all of these years. You didn't want anybody to really know yet because it seems so crazy. Let me tell you another word for crazy. Crazy ideas is called Apple. It's called Google. That's a crazy idea. Crazy ideas like, think of it, any of it. Crazy ideas like the airplane, crazy ideas like whatever it is, like crazy ideas. I forgot to turn my phone on. Crazy ideas. Oh, yeah, like the iPhone. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that we could use this thing to stay in touch? Who would have thought it? But look, that crazy idea that's on the inside of you is limitless. It has so much potential and possibility. When the Wright brothers invented the airplane, people called that crazy. That was crazy, y'all. It was crazy. But listen, people soon got off those horses and started driving, didn't they? It was crazy. Let me tell you what another crazy idea is to build an ark when there hasn't been any rain. It's to see something because you hear something. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Let me see a show of virtual hands. Let me see a show of TV hands. That you do something when it's not popular. You're doing something that's not necessarily in line with the status quo. You feel like you need to come out and bloom and blossom. To build an ark when there's no forecast, when there hasn't been any rain, but you heard a voice, the voice of God that told you it was going to. Who knew? But sure as anything, that ark was not built in vain. As sure as anything, the Wright brothers did not invent that plane in vain. Henry Ford did not dream the automobile into existence in vain. People aren't standing on the sidelines saying, oh, look at that crazy four-wheel thing going down the road. No, we are the crazy. We are in that crazy thing going down the road because someone had a crazy idea. And I want to ask you, Mr. and Mrs. Limitless or Miss Limitless, what is your crazy idea? Your crazy idea is the call of God on the inside of you, telling you to boldly step out of where you've been into a place that you've never gone before. Reminds me of another friend of mine, Abram. When he was in this place that he obviously had everything. He was very rich, but yet there was more wealth. My God, there was more wealth to achieve something else greater on the other side. So he heard this voice that said, come out from where you are and get away from your kin. Kin means comfort, familiarity, those things that you know. Get away from what you think you know. Because I got some stuff, honey, that you don't even know you know yet. And I want to take you to a place where your feet have never gone. But you are prepared for it because you not only have potential, but possibility is now being set in front of you. Because when you get up from where you've been and you begin to travel, even when you make one step, you make that one step, that is potential becoming possibility. You have just made it possible. The Bible, which is my favorite go-to book, says that faith without works is dead. Faith without corresponding action is dead. What I'm sharing with you right now is it'll make a great t-shirt, but you don't want to wear it on the outside. You want to wear it on the inside, an inside-out t-shirt, right? You want to wear this on the inside to know that you are limitless. Can you just stop for a moment and think about what you've been thinking about and know that there is nothing you cannot do? And as a matter of fact, my favorite book says that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Look at you now. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Look at you, Clark Kent becoming Superman. Come on. You can do all things. There is nothing that has capped your life but the way you've been taught, the way you've been thinking, and the way you have framed your world. Our worlds are framed by the people that we trust, rely, some authority in our lives. For instance, our parents, they can only give us what they had, right? We can't give away what we don't possess. Our school teachers, when you were in elementary or kindergarten, your teacher gave you the best that he or she had. But that framed our world. So when someone like me, your confidence coach, comes to you and tell you, hey, that's a cap. That's not who you are. My parents thought the best thing for me was to go to college, get a degree, get an education, get a good job, and live happily ever after. That's what they thought would happen. But that did not happen. Maybe it happened for you, but that did not happen for me. I went to college. Then I went to college again, and then I went to college again. But none of that fed that longing in my heart for more. The interesting thing is I didn't know what the more was. I really didn't know. And for years and years and years, imagine this. Again, this is probably not you. This is me. Oh, I experienced this. For years and years and years, I was Miss Hamster on the wheel. I was going nowhere fast. I was getting, you know what I mean, feeling exhausted, but not productive. Looking back over my life and seeing, okay, the years are passing, time is passing, but nothing is really changing on the outside. I'm still on this wheel. How do I get off of this wheel of exhaustion? How do I get to a place that I know where God has called me that's bigger than what I've been exposed to, bigger than the frames that were placed in front of me? Not because people were trying to hold me back, but they were giving me what they had. So I honor them for at least giving me what they had, but I knew that there was more. So one day I encountered someone called a coach who began to delayer me, peel things back like an onion. And so, you know, if you ever work with an onion, it'll make you cry. But you peel the layers back, and when you get down to the core, honey, you got some sweetness on the inside. You can actually take that core and you can eat it raw, and you can taste the sweetness in it. So that's what my coaches began to do for me, help me to pull back the layers. And some of that stuff was hurting because it got down to the real nitty gritty of me. And when the day I met myself, I wrote a little jingle. The day I met myself, my life began to change. I fell in love with me. Whoa, that's not selfish. That's the greatest gift I can give anyone, is to love myself. I realized that I was playing it. I wasn't playing all out. I was setting myself underneath someone else. I thought because people had better cars or homes or jobs or whatever, that they were better. Then I found out something, y'all. Let me tell you this. I found out that there's no one better than me. And I'm not saying that egotistically. I am saying that for you to grab a hold of this, because there's no one better than you to do what you've been called to do. That's why you're still here.
To find out about my latest projects, Get a free coaching lesson or download my book. Go to www.bernardo-moya.com.
That's why you got up out of bed this morning. That's why you're breathing today. That's why you're watching this, because there's no one in the world that can do it like you do it. I thought when I started my coaching practice, oh, there's so many coaches in the marketplace. But then the voice of my coach said to me, but nobody will coach like you, Dr. Faye. And I thought, you know what? That's right. This is me. This is me. And this is mine. So what I deliver it from a happy place, because I know that it is a good thing. I know that it is a God thing. I know that you have so much possibility that is being set in front of you right now. Like Abram, he went through a transformation. He had to remain Abram until he went into a promise. Whoa! He went into a promised land, a promised place for him to see more and understand the depths of his calling, that he was called to be a father of many nations. That means there was a DNA transformation. Something changed on the way to the promise. How many of you know that something changes in you on the way to the promise? I call it the place of in the meantime, where stuff happens. Where stuff happens, and a lot of stuff can happen in that in the meantime place, but it's also the place where a lot of people want to give up, cave in, and quit. But I say to you, don't you dare. Don't you give up, cave in, and quit. We need all hands on deck. We need every available soldier, every available person who feels called, who feel the mission, who feel the presence and the power of Almighty God saying, come up hither and higher. I want to show you something good. Limitlessness. I want to show you that you are an heir and a joint heir. Wow, that is some kind of power. That you are not just a piece of academics. You're not just a piece of culture. You're not just a part of a social climate. You are greater than that. And greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. How many of you are hungry for greater? You're hungry to be more than a conqueror. You're hungry to rise up now out of all the layers of life that have been placed upon you. Maybe the layers have been a divorce. Maybe the layers have been you lost your business over the past few months. Maybe the layers have been you lost your job. And all this stuff has piled upon you. Maybe you lost a loved one to COVID or some other disease, because COVID is not the only disease that's killing people. Maybe you've gone through something that's so traumatic, you don't know how you will recover. But I want to take a moment and start peeling some layers off you right now while I have your attention, please. To begin to delayer you, to let you know that sweetness is still underneath. To let you know you got a core of greatness that wants to break out and show the world who you really are. Don't you hide in the shadows at a time we need your light the most. In this world, we are establishing a new infrastructure in our society. We are capturing a new norm. Somehow, some way, we are going to do this. And we're going to do it collectively, holistically. We're going to do it from a deep spiritual place. We are going to heal one another, hold each other's hands through the fire, through the storms, through the crisis, through all the stuff that happens. Oh, yes, you are not going to be left behind. I used to be a special education liaison for a metro school district. And one of the things I noticed about that title is that no child left behind. And I'm on a mission to see that there is no one left behind who wants to achieve greatness, who wants to live that limitless life. So even though you may feel as though you've been kicked out of the game of business and of life, it's time to relaunch. Somebody say relaunch, relaunch, reset, reignite, reinvent, remold, remake. Yeah. It's time to re means do it again. And so we're going to do it again. This time, it's going to be better. It's going to be stronger. Why? Because you don't go through any fires without coming out pure gold. You've been made through this fire. You've been put in the press so that the oil can come out. You've been put in the press so that the grapes can become the juice. You've been put through it. And now that you've been put through it, let's get to it and begin to live the life that you were born to live. You see, on the way to wealth creation, there is a process. There is a step. I'm not going to show you some shiny car and say, look what my money brought me, or some fancy house. And believe me, I like both. To tell you this or to try to paint a wealth picture for you, because unless you get it in here, you can see pictures all day long on the outside. Unless that picture becomes your reality inside, it will not become your manifestation outside. Remember the Inside Out t-shirt. The thing that you want to be is the thing that you must see. This is what God told Abram. He said, as far as your eyes can see, wow, I'll give it to you. As far as your eyes can see, I will give it to you. Wow. Is that just on the outside? No. He's speaking of the eye from in here. That single eye that's so focused like the sun is upon a seed. That's so obsessed with that focus. Like nothing matters but staying focused, because I know what you're supposed to do. And I can't let take my eyes off of you. So focused, with intention, ready to go from zero to hero.
For more information, go to www.thebestyou.co.